Hey newbie cosmetic tattooist, PMU artist, welcome to our industry. I suppose everything that you hear is quite negative and that's really sad. So I've got lots of little things to tell you here quite quickly. I'm keeping it positive, but there's a few realistic things in there that you need to know. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. So that's what I wanted to tell you. My name is Rachael Bebe. I've been in the industry for 21 years, and for the last 7 years, I solely run a cosmetic tattooing studio, and I primarily target mature skin clients. That's all I do. I've created a program called the PMU Pivot, and that is what we do. We just teach people how to target mature skin clients, stay in their lane, and get rid of all this overwhelm that's out there. Anyway, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know as a beginner. What you do not need to know is that starting with what you need. You definitely need a machine. You need a pattern to practice on your latex. You need a pattern. You need to know what you're going to rehearse over and over again. You need to start with pen and pencil on your paper to create that pattern. You must only have an inorganic pigment. Pigments are very confusing, but an inorganic pigment is the only way to go for a newbie or a beginner, even for a while. You need good cartridges. Look them up. Make sure the pack that you get has good machine and good cartridges in your initial training. You need to look at your council rules. That's if you're choosing to work at home, but you need to adhere to all of that. You need to get straight away a business name, socials, and you need to get Google My Business profile set up straight away because we're going to use that. You need a strategy. Most important, you need a strategy. It's all very exciting to say, I'm going to become a PMU artist. What's your strategy? Because I'm telling you, in this world, in the PMU world, there is so much to learn. You need a strategy. So you need to know, what are you going to do this full-time or part-time? Please note that if you're only doing it part-time, you're going to have to practice a lot more for the muscle memory, for the momentum in your pattern. Where will you find your clients? What clients do you want? You need a marketing plan. That is models, brochures, getting your name out there. How are you going to do that? The most important thing you need is a USP. Have you ever heard of that before? It's a unique selling point. What makes you different than all the other artists out there? This is really important. I need you to know, unfortunately, you don't just wing PMU. You're either excellent at it, you're taught, and you become very good at it. You must have beautiful photos. You must have a beautiful reputation. You must have a fantastic bedside manner. You need to plan to succeed. And again, you need a USP, your unique selling point. Now, what's your business plan? i.e., what do you want to go and do? Where do you want to be and by when? You might say in 12 months' time, I want to be doing 5 PMU clients a week. You need that written down. Without that, it's not going to happen. You need a vision. You need to make this happen. Do you think you'll do another course after your initial treatment? If so, what are you going to do? Will you go and do microblading, or will you do a lip training, or have you looked into that? Have you thought about that? Have you looked at the competitors in your area as to what they're doing? Not necessary, but do you have any of these? Do you have any business experience? Are you a beauty therapist? Do you have any experience with social media? Or are you an accountant? These are things that you need behind the scenes to run a very successful PMU business. Now, some PMU questions I need you to ask you just to get your brain thinking and make sure you're on the right track. Did you know you cannot microblade everyone's skin? Did you know that inorganic pigments are the safest to work with for at least a few years. They're the most forgiving. Did you know the skin in the tail is much thinner there? So when you're tattooing, you need to be very careful. It'll end up grey and too dark there. Did you know that you shouldn't touch somebody's skin who has previous brow tattooing? So if they ring you and they say, can you tattoo over my brows? Say no, because you're technically not qualified to do it. There's a lot to take into account. And if you touch that lady, she becomes your problem. So say no. Did you know you don't really see your healed results for at least 12 months? So you tattoo today, it looks great. Looks pretty good in 4 weeks as well. Looks okay at the touch-up, you're happy with that. Now what happens is you have to wait 12 months, especially for microblading. For powder brows or ombre or anything other than that, it's 2 years. That's how you see how your work is healing. If it doesn't fade down in the same shade that you started with, it hasn't been good work, but it takes 2 years. That's why we always use inorganic pigments when we're new, because in 2 years it will fade down a little bit more red, and red is a lot easier to treat than grey. Grey can also be too deep as well. Did you know no two sides of the face are the same? So when you come to map, you can't just do a straight line because no two sides of the face are the same. In actual fact, there's also always a passive and an assertive side. So when you talk to somebody, somebody will lift one side up more. And then as you're dealing with ladies as they get older, one side of their face is a lot more difficult, and that is often their sleep side. So there's a few little fun facts for you. Now, all of this and more is included in the PMU Pivot program. What I offer is I'm essentially saying to people straight out of training or down the track a little bit, if they're floundering a little bit, they're not getting to go where they want to go, there is a program. It's an investment. It's a 6-week program where you can start implementing it straight away and you'll start getting the results straight away. It's very straightforward, but all we're doing is focusing on natural brows and mature skin clients. So in a room of 500 people and there's 20 artists, all those 20 artists are going for all of those people. But the older people, nobody wants to touch them because they think their skin is too difficult, too hard. It's not. It's easy, but you need to know how. Now, in that room of 500 people, if you're the only person that's treating mature skin clients, all those clients are going to come to you. And all those clients will hear about you and will see your work. And very, very quickly, you become the go-to artist for mature skin PMU. So there's checklists that we take you through everything. So instead of doing another course to widen your knowledge, why don't you scale in and go for this mature skin client that nobody else is going near and have the proven formula which I have for you? Have a think about it. My name is Rachael Bebe. It's called the PMU Pivot. It's very, very new. It's probably best if you book a clarity call and I can talk you through it a little bit more if you're interested. I hope this helps you, as PMU can be extremely overwhelming. It need not be though. It can be exciting.